Shalom, shalom, and welcome once again to Yahweh's Biblical Research Study class. What we'll do first is say a prayer to our Father Yahweh. First, we'll say our national prayer. Then we'll say the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. We refer to it as the Tefillah. Let us stand and face the east and say our prayer. O Yahweh, God of our salvation, save us, gather us together, and deliver us from the heathen, so that we may give thanks to thy holy name and glory in thy praises. Blessed be the holy name of Yahweh and Israel forever. O Yahweh, let them be confounded that persecute us, but let not us be confounded. Let our enemies be dismayed, but let not us be dismayed. Bring upon our enemies the day of evil, and destroy them with double destruction. O Yahweh, forgive our fathers for breaking your laws, and please forgive us for breaking your laws. Help us to never bring shame upon thy great name, nor reproach against our works. For surely we have turned ourselves to thee, O Yahweh, trying to be upright, and as we confess our faults, please grant us protection against all of our faults. Cleanse us of our secret faults, and guide us to the best of morals. For surely our prayers and our sacrifice, our lives and our deaths are all for thee, O Yahweh. Tefillah, Ave Nu Shabbat Shemayan, Yikar De Shemerka, Tavo Ma Kuteaka, Yase Rizonka, Kivashemayim Kain Baaretz, Et Leken Kukainu, Tain La Nu Hayon, Uslak La Nu, All Kate Nu, Kimosaso King, Gamanak Nu, Lakoteum La Nu, Veal Tevier Nu, Ladeni Sayon, King Ka Senu, Mean Hara, Killer Kar, Hamam Laha, Veat Givera, Veat Teferet, Leolame, Olami, Sila. We thank thee, Yahweh, O living and eternal King, who has so mercifully restored our souls within us. Praise Yahweh. Again, shalom, shalom, and welcome to Yahweh's Biblical Research Study class. Well, as usual, you're going to need paper and pencil. Bought a couple of extra books here. First, I want to testify that Yahweh is God, that his son's name is Yahweh Ben Yahweh. Who is Yahweh Ben Yahweh? Yahweh Ben Yahweh is the son of Yahweh. Yahweh Ben Yahweh is Yahweh in the flesh. That's who he is. Yahweh Ben Yahweh is the one that this society of rulerships never ever wanted you to ever know about. They did everything humanly possible to deter you from listening to him, because they knew for us to hear him and follow his teachings would be the end of this wicked rulership. Well, praise Yahweh. The end of this wicked rulership is already destined to fail. It only was allowed 6,000 years. That time is up. There's a few things, since I say Yahweh is the name. That is God's name. Let's see here. This is what's called a Black Law Dictionary. And I just happened to look up the word name. And it said a word or phrase identifying or designating a person or thing and distinguishing that person or thing from another. The purpose of the name is to distinguish from all others. So understand that God's name is Yahweh. Now, I know some of you have heard words that start with J. This is the Guinness Book of Records, 1993. And it says the newest letter, that the J is the newest letter to be added to English alphabets. And those letters are J and V, which were of post-Shakespearean use. They came about in 1630. 1630. Formerly, they were used only as variants of I and U. So the English, in the English language, the J and the V are the newest letters of the English alphabet, came about in 1630. Now, if you take 1630 from 2025, that will tell you how old the letter J is. Now, the God that we're talking about is much older than that. I also have here is, what is this I have here? This is, some may remember this, this is the Britannica Encyclopedia. Some of you may remember when your mothers paid all that money for these encyclopedias, but never used them. And it says Yahweh. Yahweh is the personal name of God. Yahweh, the personal name of the God of the Hebrew Israelites. It was revealed to Moses as the four Hebrew consonants YHWH, called the Tetragrammaton. After the exile of the 16th century, then it says Judaism did not want the world to pronounce Yahweh's name. So they substituted it for Elohim or Adonai. Elohim means God, Adonai means Lord. So when you read the Bible, everywhere that you read Lord and God, the original reads Yahweh. Everywhere that you read Lord and God, the original is Yahweh. I have here another book. It's called the Euphanized Bible. And it says here that the name Yahweh was concealed, meaning it was hidden. They substituted Yahweh's name for Hebrew titles like Adonai, Elohim, which means Lord and God. They took it out of the English versions of the Bible. If you were accustomed to hearing the Bible read, you would not hear the name Yahweh. you would hear Lord and God, which was their attempt to hide the name. It says the name Yahweh throughout the Bible appeared over 7,000 times. Now I have to say Yahweh had to really love his name to put it in the Bible over 7,000 times. I really think he wanted us to know his name. Some of these new names that we're hearing now, they came after 1979 when Yahweh Ben Yahweh revealed the name. Now, the interesting thing here, let me move some, is when we go to the Bible, what else I have here now? When we go to the Bible, and if we go to St. John, St. John, I believe it's 16. Come on, St. John. St. John, wait just a minute here. St. John 17 and 6. Since we know through research that the name Yahweh was hidden intentionally, that the only one who was going to come with the correct pronunciation and to reveal how to say our Father's name, let us go to St. John 17 and 6. And this is the Son talking. He said, I have manifested thy name unto men, which thou gavest me out of the world. Thine they were, and thou givest them me, and they have kept my word. So the Son was the one who revealed the name Yahweh. This was reserved to identify who he was. The name Yahweh was not publicly known until 1979, when millions of leaflets was passed all over the world. Millions were passed all over the world proclaiming the name Yahweh. But we see here in 17:6, Yahweh Ben Yahweh said, I have manifested thy name to men. While we're reading, go to 12. He said, while I was with them in the world, I kept them in thy name. These are characteristics of the Son of Yahweh. Nobody else was to reveal the name Yahweh except the Son. When the Son revealed his Father's name, then he revealed his name in John chapter 5:43. See, if you didn't know the Father's name, it would be impossible for you to know the Son's name. John 5:43 say, I am come in my Father's name. When you read this, your mind should say, well, who is the Father's? What is the Father's name? Well, the Father's name is Yahweh. So the Son say, I come in my Father's name. So Yahweh means, Yahweh Ben Yahweh is simply saying, Yahweh, Ben means Son, Yahweh. It's most important for us to know this, because just reading some of these books, the name was hidden and the name had to be revealed. It's 10:16 already. This is something I looked up Anaya, can
Yes, sir.
you look up, and it says, just look up how many times that Yahweh's name appear in the Bible? How many times did Yahweh's name appear in the Bible?
You said how many times Yahweh name appeared in the Bible?
Right. Because Yahweh Ben Yahweh was publicizing the name so strongly, and it was beginning to be accepted all over the world, the Vatican issued instructions that the name Yahweh should not be pronounced in Catholic literature or songs or prayers. The directive was of an ancient practice,
You ready?
came about through the Jewish religion. So
Mm-hmm.
here we see that the Catholic institution and the Jewish religion conspired together to hide the name Yahweh. Yes, sir, Brother Naya.
In Hebrew manuscripts, the name Yahweh appears in the Bibles almost 7,000 times, approximately 6,800 times in the Hebrew Bible.
Did you hear what Anaya said? See, this is researchable. And it says this knowledge became to the knowledge of Yahweh's name after Yahweh Ben Yahweh revealed it in 1979. Then other people start taking it on. Now it's all over the internet. At one time it wasn't. There's some other information that the Catholic institution admitted, a pope admitted that they hid the name for over 1,600 years. And they admitted in their writings that when they hid the name Yahweh for over 1,600 years, they hid all of our blessings, that we could not connect to our Father. Now remember, last week we showed where the name Yahweh, the numerical value of the name Yahweh, is all throughout your bodies. It's in your genes and your chromosome. They had to hide it. They never wanted us to know who we are. The purpose of Yahweh Ben Yahweh's coming is to proclaim the name Yahweh and to let us know what his name is. Also, as you do continued research, you'll find out that Yahweh is the family's name. Yahweh is the family's name. We being the children of Yahweh, our name would be Yahweh also. Females would be your name, Bat Yahweh, which means daughter. Men or brother's name will be as mine, Amon Ben Yahweh, which means Amon, the son of Yahweh. A sister, Bat, meaning daughter, the daughter of Yahweh. As you study this and find out more who you are, then you will accept this. Praise Yahweh. Wanted to share a little of that. And don't forget John chapter 17:6, where the Son said, I have manifested thy name. That was reserved for the Son. All other religion institution hid the name Yahweh from us? Praise Yahweh. How did they hid it? How can we prove that the religions and other institutions hid the name Yahweh? Go to Matthew chapter 4. Matthew's chapter 4. And please don't believe me. Do this research for yourself. Matthew 4. Matthew's 4. Oh, 4. Matthew's 4, starting at verse 5. And it says, then the devil taketh him up unto the holy city. See, the devil took him up to the holy city. Wait just a minute now. We're going to go through this a little slow this evening because we're going to pull out some books. And what does another name for holy city? This is the Random House Dictionary of English Language. Holy city also means Christianity, the religions of the Jews, Judaism, Christianity, Muslims, and Hindus. These are the main religion. So when you hear the word holy city, it also means these religions, the main religion. Now let's go back to 5. Then the devil taketh him up unto the holy city and sitteth him on a pinnacle of the temple. The temple are the religion. Anaya, can you give us the word pinnacle? The word pinnacle. Pinnacle. Pinnacle.
Pinnacle. Give me a second. Praise Yahweh. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Pinnacle.
Pinnacle. Etymology of the word pinnacle is from the Old English and the Middle French, pinnacle, late Latin, pinnaculum, which means a diminutive of pinna, meaning wing or battlement. Originally referred to as a high point on a building or castle, a peak, a point, or projection. Pinnacle refers to the
So the
highest point.
pinnacle, come on, the highest point.
Pinnacle refers to the highest point or the peak of something, whether it's a mountain, whether it's a moment in life, whether it's power, whether it's success, whether it's a spiritual elevation. It is the summit, the crown, and the ultimate position of greatness. Pinnacle is when you reach the top of your journey, is when you reach the top of your journey physically, mentally, even spiritually. It's when you climb through hardship, fought the storms, and now stand elevated with clear sight and purpose. Pinnacle aligns with authority, meaning the highest seat. Pinnacle aligns with enlightenment, meaning to the top of the mountain where Yahweh speaks. Pinnacle. To reach the pinnacle is to be exposed, no more hiding. You either stand or fall. That's why not everyone is ready for the mountaintop. The weight of Yahweh's glory can crush those that are unprepared. That's the pinnacle. Synonyms for pinnacle:
Praise.
summit,
Come on.
peak, apex, zenith, climax, crown, height, capstone. That's it.
Praise Yahweh, Yahweh. So the devil take him to the holy city, which is all the main religions, and setteth him on the pinnacle of the temple. More proof that he's talking about the religions. But he just didn't take him in the religion. He took him to the very top, those that were in the highest position in all these religions, those that were ruling all these religions, making the decisions for the religions, making the decisions to even hide the name, conceal the name Yahweh. And when he was taken to the pinnacle of the religions, he said, and said unto him, if thou be the Son of Yahweh, cast thyself down, from it is written, he shall give his angels charge concerning thee. See, the devil is just a crazy fool. He really is just a naughty fool. He gonna tell the son, if you the son, then cast yourself down. The angel. Go to 7. See that J word? Now remember now, the letter J just came about 1630, so this couldn't be his name. It said, Yahweh Ben Yahweh said unto him, it is written again, thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy God, Yahweh, Satan. Verse 8, again the devil taketh him up unto an exceedingly high mountain. Mountain represents government. Those in the highest government position, those that's ruling the government, they're known as plutocrats. To the highest mountain and show him all the kingdoms of the world and the glory of them. See, the devil had authority over all religion. The devil has authority over the governments, the highest mountain. When you look up the word plutocrat, it simply says people who influence the government through their money and influence. The word Pluto means Satan, so these are satanic mind people that rule the government and make decisions. They're in the background, some of them. But here we see that Yahweh Ben Yahweh has been tempted by Lucifer. Yahweh Ben Yahweh told him in 9 and said unto him, all these things, this Satan, will I give thee if thou fall down and worship me. Yahweh Ben Yahweh said, get behind me, Satan. Your time of rulership is up. We, as the children of Yahweh Ben Yahweh, have to be able to say the very same thing. We have to understand that this system is governed and ruled by Satan. What's another proof that Satan is in authority? The air, the water, and the food has been poisoned because the devil is an opposer. Everything that Yahweh created is good. The devil's goal is to mess it up. And long as we don't come together as his children, that time has come He will continue his reign. All right, just getting a little late here. Now, we're showing here that the devil ruleth the religions, the devil ruling the governments. Go through Revelations 12:9, Revelations 12:9, and it says, and the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil. See that guy again? We just read about him in Matthew 4. That old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceived the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels was cast out with him. See, here are people that help him to institute our deception. He have people to assist him in continuing our deception. But because Yahweh Ben Yahweh came on the scene, he revealed the name Yahweh and revealed himself and revealing to us who we are. We are his family, genes and chromosomes, very bone, blood family of Yahweh Ben Yahweh. And it say the devil deceived the whole world. Well, how could the devil deceive the whole world? He knew we believed in God, so he used our belief system using terms like God through his religions, but deceived us to call on false names, to trick us to believe that heaven is in the sky and you can only go to heaven when you die. That's all deceptive teachings of Lucifer. See, it said that old serpent, he ain't just got here. He was way back there 6,000 years ago in Genesis. That's the same fella in Genesis today, still trying to deceive us. Some of us know that Yahweh is God. We can't change. We understand that Yahweh Ben Yahweh is his son, who is Yahweh in the flesh. Some of us know that. We don't care what they display. We know that Yahweh has all power and all authority, and it's our time. Let us go to Romans chapter 11. Romans chapter 11, starting at 26. Romans chapter 11, 26. And so all Israel shall be saved. As it is written, there shall come out of Zion the deliverer. See, Zion is just another name for us, the children of Yahweh. But it says the deliverer is going to come out of Zion. See, that's why we have to know who we are. Then we'll know that the Messiah, Yahweh, will come from amongst us, his brethren. And then it says, and shall turn away ungodliness from Jacob. See, Jacob, that's us again. Jacob's name was changed to Israel. That's us again. But it says that your son, Yahweh Ben Yahweh, will turn away ungodliness from Jacob. For this is my covenant unto them, when I shall take away their sin. See, you're not talking about going up in no clouds. What is sin? See, we need to know what sin is because the Son said he will take away our sins. Go to our John chapter 3. Our John chapter 3 and 4. And it says, whosoever committeth sin transgresseth also the law. For sin is the transgression of the law. That's what sin is. And now can you give us transgression? Sin is the transgression of the law. But these religions want to teach us, although it's telling us what sin is in the New Testament, they want to tell us that the law don't count no more, that we're just under grace. Transgression. Then it says, in 5, it says, and ye know that he was manifested to take away our sins, and in him is no sin. So he was manifested, Yahweh Ben Yahweh, to take away our sin. That means he had to teach us the law. And he said, if you love me, keep my commandments, keep my law. Go to 3. And every man have this hope in him. Every man that have this hope in him purify himself, even as he is pure. See, if you're Yahweh Ben Yahweh's child, you're going to purify your own self. You're not going to wait for somebody else to do. You're going to purify your own self. Then it says, even as he is pure. Matthew 5:48 tells us to be perfect, even as our Father Yahweh Ben Yahweh is perfect. Oh yes. To follow Yahweh Ben Yahweh, you got to be right. Did you find it, Hananiah?
Yes, sir.
Come on,
Transgression.
brother.
Transgression, from the Latin word transgredi, which means to step across, go over. Trans means across, gradi means to step. So transgressio means it's an act of overstepping, an act of violating. A transgression is...
See, you violate the law. See, transgress means you violate the law.
Yes, sir.
I say this many times. Don't have Anaya sharing these words with us, and we don't take the time to look them up. This is the information that we need to know. Come on, brother Anaya.
Definition. Transgression. A transgression is breaking a rule, violating a boundary, crossing a line, especially a moral line, a legal line, or a spiritual one. In plain terms, when you transgressed, you knew better, but you still did it.
Uh-oh. Oh, wait a minute. Anaya, are you telling me some people know better and still do it?
Yes, sir.
That's called a rebellious child.
Yes, sir.
Come on, Naya.
In plain terms, transgression means that you knew better, but you still did it. Transgression is not ignorance, it's willfulness. You don't just make a mistake, you step over the line. In scripture, transgression is deeper than sin. It implies defiance. Isaiah 53:5. But he was wounded for our transgressions. He was bruised for our iniquities. Transgression is one of the three main categories of wrongdoing. You have sin, you have iniquity, and you have transgression. Transgression equals a rebellion or a breach of trust. Transgression is often used when someone knows Yahweh's law but chooses to go against it anyway. It implies intentional rebellion, not just weakness. It's not just a weakness, it's an intentional rebellion. Psalms 32:1. Blessed is he whose transgression is forgiven, whose sin is covered. In modern terms, a transgression isn't just wrongdoing, it's betraying a trust, it's breaking a divine contract, or rejecting your higher nature. When you transgress, you're not just slipping, you're consciously stepping out of alignment with truth and Yahweh. Transgression demands atonement. Synonyms for transgression: violation, trespass, rebellion, infraction, breach, disobedience, offense, betrayal. That's it.
Good gracious Yahweh. One. Thank you, Brother Naya. As it says in 1 John 3:4, whosoever committeth sin transgresseth also the law, for sin is the transgression of the law. It's telling you that you're being disobedient to Yahweh when you don't keep his laws. You're being rebellious. You're intentionally doing this. And these religions don't teach these laws. They tell you that the law don't count no more. Go to Psalms 19:7. Psalms 19:7. If you can't keep up, write the scripture down, write what's being said, and then study it for yourself. The law of the Lord Yahweh is perfect, converting the soul. Say that the law is perfect and the law will convert your soul. The testimony of the Lord Yahweh is sure, making wise the simple. See, the Son is letting us know how he became perfect by instituting the law in his life. He can testify. The only way he could testify is he's a witness. And we must become witnesses by keeping Yahweh's law, that it will change your mind. Praise Yahweh. Look at here, look at here. Go to Proverbs 14:34. Proverbs 14:34. Proverbs 14:34. It says, righteousness exalts a nation, but transgressing the law is sin and is a reproach to any people. Reproach, now it's talking about Cain, Lucifer's son. But Righteousness exalts a nation. Boy, look at here. The Bible verse, Proverbs 14:34, which states, righteousness exalts a nation, but sin is a reproach to any people. The verse means that the nation moral character defined by righteousness leads its exaltation, while sin leads to disgrace and condemnation. But righteousness exalts a nation. The laws exalts a nation. This part means that the nation of Yahweh's character and moral foundation elevated and leads to its prosperity and well-being. See, when you hear me say, if you don't believe in righteousness as a way of life, don't come among us. We can't use you. We really mean that. Got a whole lot of other places you can go to. Sin being a disgrace and shame and a decline in quality of life for any people. When you apply this, which is important to individuals, makes up our national character. Being Yahweh Ben Yahweh's children, it is most important for us to become moral, for us to purify ourselves. We must be the examples to the world that righteousness is the solution. You know what? Let me go to Deuteronomy. Go to Deuteronomy chapter 4. Deuteronomy chapter 4. And I want you to read this slow. Deuteronomy chapter 4. Where are we at? Come on, 4. Deuteronomy chapter 4. Deuteronomy chapter 4. Starting at verse 5. It says, behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments. This is the first time in history that we're being taught statutes and judgment, even as the Lord my God commanded me that we should do so in the land whether we go to possess it. So it says, wherever we go, not just someplace, wherever we go, we should practice the laws, statutes, judgments, and commandments. And when we do this, we'll possess that land. See, we don't need no gun for this. We're not talking about fighting nobody. We ain't talking about demonstrating. We're not talking about none of that. We're talking about these laws, statutes, judgments, and commandments that Yahweh Ben Yahweh is giving us to implement into our everyday living. And it says that we should do so in the land, whether we go to possess it. Verse 6, keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nation. See, the nations are watching for Yahweh Ben Yahweh's children, because they will see you keeping these laws, statutes, and judgments and commandments. And then it says, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. We will be no, they know this. They read this too. See, the world, they read this in the Bible. They know that there's going to be a nation, that the nation of Yahweh, that they will be wise and understanding people. They read where it says, whatever land we go in, we're going to possess it, because we're going to keep the law, statutes, judgments, and commandments. See, it say we possess it in verse 5. That's what I call goodies, good information. Psalms chapter 37. Psalms chapter 37. Psalms chapter 37. And go to verse 9, 37:9. And it says, for evildoers shall be cut off, not might, shall be cut off. But those that wait upon the Lord Yahweh, they shall inherit the earth. Oh yeah, the earth, that's going to be heaven. Yes, we understand real good that we pray, let thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. See, whatever in heaven going to be done in earth. That's our heavenly mind that we're going to create. Go to verse 29. Same chapter 29. The righteous shall inherit the land and dwell therein forever. You see that what that say? Forever. See it say land, and see it verse 9 it say earth. The righteous shall, not might. What is righteous? Keeping the laws, statutes, judgments, and commandments of Yahweh. Go to Psalms 119. Psalms 119. Psalms 119. 119. Okay. 119. Psalms 119. Wait a minute, what we got here? 119, 119, 142. Wait a minute here now. 119 and 142. Okay, Psalms 119 and chapter 142. 119, 142. Chapter 119, verses 142. Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth. Go to 174. Wait a minute. Let me see here. 174. I have longed for thy salvation, O Lord Yahweh, and thy law is my delight. The law is my delight. Do y'all hear this? The righteous shall inherit the earth. The land, by keeping the law, statutes, judgments, and commandments, wherever we go, we're going to possess that land. See, don't forget, in the middle of Jerusalem, the word Jerusalem is the letter USA. That stands for United States. And we're not going to fight nobody. We're not going to demonstrate. And I don't care how powerful this country appears to be with a 800 and some military bases all around the world. We're going to be just fine. Yahweh going to cause them to kill their own self. The valley of Jehoshaphat is lining up real good. Well, now it's 7:57. Could you give us some wonderful announcements?
Yes, sir. If you are enjoying these wonderful, fruitful, full, enriching classes like I am, you can always find us on YouTube at YBY Alliance. That's YBY Alliance. We have a ton of videos. I think we're coming up on almost 200 plus videos. We have a lot of content. That's a lot of knowledge. That's a lot of knowledge sitting on YouTube. Take advantage of it. Watch them. Watch it all at once. Take some notes. Spread the knowledge that you learn. Comment and talk about it. YouTube, YBY Alliance. We also have a Facebook. Our videos are there also. We have content that we put there for you. Also, we have a beautiful Yahweh website, YBYalliance.com. That's YBYalliance.com. You can keep up with the feast. You can contact us on the contact page. Put your name and number and email. We will invite you to our Discord community where you can talk to us live, one-on-one. Seek knowledge, mentorship, whatever it is. You can join us on the Discord. I said YBYalliance.com. And don't forget, it is creeping up. It is creeping up. Passover, the Feast of Unleavened Bread, will be around the corner. Remember, prepare yourself for the Passover, right? They didn't know it was coming in the Bible time. You know it's coming. Prepare yourself for the Passover. It will be here sooner than later. Again, keep up with us at YBYalliance.com. Thank you.
Nadia, thank you for those wonderful, wonderful comments. Thank you always for sharing some of the deeper knowledge of what we're studying by giving us all kinds of words to study. You definitely enlightened me on transgression. I know it was breaking the law, but good gracious, look at here. I will be studying from that angle. See, that's why it's imperative for us to study. That's why it's imperative to be around people who love to study. Sometimes you'll see an angle, and when you come together and share, there might be another angle. And as we come together, we just be a wealth of knowledge. The knowledge that will convert our mind.
Yes, sir.
As we return back to our Father, Yahweh Ben Yahweh. See, it's all up to us. The time is up. See, we prayed for this time. Some may have cried, when is this going to be over? It's over when you say it's over. I'm saying it's over. And we're looking for those that's ready to build the nation, the kingdom of Yahweh. Praise Yahweh. Well, we'll say the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew, referred to as the Tefillah. Let us stand and face the east. Tefillah. Ave Nu Shabbat Shemaya, Yikar Shemerka, Tavo Makutelka, Yas Rezonka, Kivashemayim Kain Baaretz, Et Lekem Kukainu, Tain La Nu Hayon, Uslak La Nu, All Katari Nu, Kimosha Sol Kim, Gamanak Nu, Lakoteum La Nu, Veal Tevier Nu, Ladeni Sayon, King Ka Senu, Min Hara, Kilakar, Hamam Laha, Veat Givara, Veat Teferet, Leolame, Olame, Sila. We thank thee, Yahweh, O living and eternal King, who has so mercifully restored our souls within us. Praise Yahweh. Always remember that Yahweh Ben Yahweh loves you. And we, those who follow Yahweh Ben Yahweh, we love you all. Be safe. The world is not the same. It is just changing day by day by day. So be safe. Praise Yahweh.